Everybody in the world has heard of the squat. You know, it's a great exercise. You're not sure what it looks like, and you get your hands up like this, and you get nice and deep, and you squat. Even Lewis, my fine cameraman and website partner, is practicing them himself at this moment, and he's doing a good job. The point is, you know, both of us were really good at doing these. Everybody has got a certain point where they can only squat so much. Maybe you've got a hip problem, maybe you've got a back problem, but you do need to learn to do this because, as gross as this sounds, every time you get up and down from, you know, going potty on the toilet, you are doing a squat. And guess what? If you've got a back problem, you don't know how to get up and down the right way, you're going to aggravate that problem, which is going to make all of your exercise harder. Anybody with a back problem who has ever hurt their back knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's not pretty. It's something you really want to avoid. So we should learn to do it right. Now, a lot of gyms, a lot of personal trainers will teach you something known as a box squat. And here it is. A box squat is where I squat to a box. Now, why does that work? Well, if I just kind of freestand trying to squat to a log, I don't know, but we just somehow want to take our knees and go forward and push our back over. But if all of a sudden you tell me that there's a box behind me and I've got to touch it, I'm somehow just controlling every motion, every muscle in my body until, oh, I touched it, and then I'm squatting back up. And my form is better. And my form is better. How does that work? Who cares? It works. Here's the thing though. Maybe you can't squat as well as I can. Well, that's fine. Squat to something higher until you can, and progressively go lower. So when you're doing a squat, hands out in front of you. Why? It's going to create a counterbalance, which is going to help you stay upright. So the hands out. You put them like this if you want. Be like Carl Lewis in the Olympics when he's sprinting. Hands out, and then it's not push forward. Push the chin back. The hips, there's going to be an optimal position for where you put your hips, and I'll show you how to actually do that right now. Start with your hands close, or your knees close. Push your hips back to the point where you feel your lower back will start to round. Go up a little further. Push yourself back again. You're going to find a spot where your lower back stays arched, where you can get as deep as possible. And that's your optimum. Now, it's usually pretty wide. For me, this is about it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to remember that my knees are out a little further than this. Okay, so I found it. That's where I need to be. That's where my feet need to be when I squat. What do I do? Out. And of course, I came nowhere near the box. So let's try that again. About right there. Okay. I'm going to control it again. I'm going to do 10 of these. And notice I'm not sitting on the box. I'm just letting it be a cue. So it's like, oh, stop there and come back up. Stop there and come back up. Another thing, you can put your hand on the small of your back and make sure it's arched, as opposed to not rounded over. It is arched. Make sure that you're doing that. This is supposed to be a hip movement, not a lower back movement. That's too easy. Eventually you're going to do that. And you will do this. It doesn't matter how much weight you have to lose. It's going to get easier. I promise you it's going to get easier. It did for me. I used to never be able to do these. Now I can squat below parallel. It's amazing. And eventually that's going to get too easy. Fine. Let's just put these out of the way. Something known as a goblet squat. Once you don't need this stack anymore, you can go as low as possible. Hold the dumbbell like so. Squat. You can do this for 10 times. This is a fantastic workout. But you're never going to know where you need to start until you start squatting for yourself. So, 8 to 10 reps, find your hip range, give it a try yourself.